Welcome back, another episode. The Walking Dead's most unfair character death left emotional wounds that were about to mend. But Rick and Michonne's spin-off tears them apart once more. The Ones Who Live, which has brought back Danai Gurira and Andrew Lincoln to the cast of The Walking Dead, has so far maintained the basic themes of love and family. The fundamental topic of The Ones Who Live episode 4 is whether Rick Grimes will stay a soldier in the Civic Republic military or go back to his family in Alexandria. This decision is made much more important as Rick finds out about RJ, his son, whom he didn't know existed. It is impossible to avoid thinking of Carl Grimes because Rick's paternal traits play such a major role in The Ones Who Live, especially in episode 4. Rick's original kid, who was portrayed by Chandler Riggs in The Walking Dead seasons 1 through 8, was abruptly killed off amid much controversy, and Kaylee Fleming's Judith essentially stole his place in the narrative. In The Ones Who Live episode 4, Carl is addressed, but the nostalgia just serves to emphasize to viewers how the character wasn't meant to die in the first place. The greater part of Rick's story is Carl's death because of the ones who are still alive. The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live episode 4 does a commendable job of bringing Carl's death into the present narrative, which is something that should torment Rick Grimes forever. Rick explains his unusual reluctance to go back home by saying, "I'd meet up with Carl in my dreams," accusing the CRM of taking Carl from him. "And that's how I made it through here." And then he vanished one day. Although Rick's statement is heavily metaphorical, the main takeaway is that Rick lost the only remaining relationship he had with Carl after years of living under the CRM's control. Dehumanizing and depersonalizing people is the goal of the CRM's strict military structure, and deathly hold on secrets. This is especially true for individuals like Rick Grimes, who would amputate pieces of their own bodies in order to have a remote chance of escaping. Rick was kept going through those difficult times by his recollections of Carl, but as time went on, those memories grew dimmer and drier, making Lincoln's character experience Carl's death once more. This devastating revelation makes Carl's legacy eternal in the current arc of The Walking Dead, and it plays a significant role in Rick's CRM narrative. As he should, Rick is still in deep mourning for that immense loss, and part of his hesitation to return to being a family man stems from the idea of losing Michonne and Judith in the same manner. Rick can feel that he is still defending his family if he stays behind with the CRM rather than running the chance of witnessing their demise, as Carl did. This is a cunning strategy to guarantee that Carl, who was such an important character on The Walking Dead before he left the show, stays relevant. The greatest error in The Walking Dead is still Carl Grimes' death. Over the course of its 14-year run on television, The Walking Dead has killed off a great deal of characters, some of whom handled it far better than others. Carl Grimes, though, is the one who hurts more than anyone among AMC's many victims. Though emotionally complex and drawn out, Carl's death was finally caused by a simple zombie bite, which was a depressing result after 8 seasons of successfully avoiding nasty lips. Carl's departure occurred at an even worse time. The story required that Rick Grimes resume his plotting of Negan's downfall as soon as Carl died, right in the heart of Rick's conflict with the Saviors. For a character who was almost entirely motivated by his son and had always been characterized by parenting, this seemed disconcerting. Even though Rick's choice to spare Negan's life was ultimately motivated by Carl's murder, The Walking Dead did not adequately address how Rick could have returned to fighting so soon after losing his child. Rick also lacked the opportunity to grieve. For more, subscribe.